Going vegan at the age of 50? That's impossible. There's no way you're going to be able to do that. That's what I was told. That was the response I got when I first announced my big decision. So in this video, we're just going to go through some of the things that were thrown at me when I announced to my friends that I was going vegan. This all happened in the pub. So a nice fun video and a way to maybe counteract some of those arguments that were thrown at me, and we'll find out whether they were true or not. So I remember clearly going out and I was so excited and enthusiastic and looking forward to this new lifestyle that I decided to embark upon. And in a way, kind of naively, I was looking forward to announcing my big decision to my mates, and they're great friends, and I expected a little bit of fun, a little bit of counter argument. But to be fair, I was actually surprised by some of the questions, and at the time I probably wasn't very well equipped to answer them in a good way. So maybe if you're in the same situation and you're thinking of going on a plant-based diet and you're thinking of announcing your big plans to your friends, maybe this video will help you. So one of the things that one of my friends said to me, said, well, you're going to miss your old food. You'll never do it. This is completely unrealistic. You know, you've reached the age of 50, you've been eating certain things all your life, and now suddenly you're going to start eating something different. There's no way you're going to be able to do that. After a week, you'll be climbing the walls, you'll be going crazy, you'll be begging for somebody to give you back your old diet. And it's true, isn't it? We get into a pattern, we get into a routine of what we eat. You know, we tend to eat the same things, we tend to like the same things. And I know for me, and I remember before I went plant-based, a meal was always meat, fish, chicken. You know, that was always part of a meal. If a meal had not had that in it, somehow it wasn't a meal. I was never a great salad guy, and even if I did eat a salad, it always got some chicken in it or some fish, or, you know, it's what we become accustomed to. So when he said that, actually it was a very good point, because it meant that I would have to be thinking about eating completely different things. And to be fair, at that point, I'd probably not considered completely how I should respond. Now, of course, I know that there are lots and lots of alternatives. And to be fair, I don't miss meat, chicken, fish at all. Of course, I enjoyed the taste of those foods, but I've just simply replaced. There's all sorts of things you can eat on a plant-based diet that are just as delicious. It's a lot about preparing the food, how you prepare it, and especially nowadays, there's also lots of alternatives, sort of to get going at least. There's lots of plant-based alternative, you know, burgers and meats and things like that. So yeah, that was one of the arguments, and my counter argument should have been, are you in a completely different universe? There are so many things. You can't imagine how many alternatives there are to chicken, meat and fish. It's just because you're living in a little bubble and you've not really expanded your mind to all the goodness that a plant-based diet contains. So another one kind of on the same line was another one of my friends was saying that you'll just be eating rabbit food or bird food. So this was obviously made as a joke, but I think it kind of highlights what people really imagine from people on a plant-based diet. I think that we do, don't we? We think that people on a vegan diet, they're kind of just eating rabbit food or something. It's shockingly also what I used to think, to be fair. But again, my counter argument should have been, no. There will be some rabbit food, maybe a little bit of lettuce, but the vast majority of my food will be wholesome food. Did you know, for instance, that chips and beer are vegan? So that's definitely not rabbit food. Rabbits don't eat chips, fries, and they certainly don't drink beer. So not that you can live on not that a healthy plant-based diet is chips and fries, but it's a good comeback in such a scenario if somebody's pointing that out. The classic one, of course, was one of my friends saying that where would I get my protein? So this is the big one that we've really all grown up to believe, that if you're not eating meat and you're not eating meat and dairy and fish, you're not going to get protein and you're going to wither away and die. The truth is that some of the strongest animals in the world are herbivores, so they don't eat meat at all. So think about elephants, horses, cows, cattle. None of them eat meat, and yet they're enormous and really, really strong, such as a gorilla. But somehow we don't think of that. When we think about strong and powerful animals, we tend to think of lions and tigers and meat eaters. But at the end of the day, it's how we've been brought up to think. It's been a fantastic marketing job, kind of propaganda job by the meat and dairy industry. We absolutely do not need meat, chicken and fish to get our protein. There's protein, so much protein in plants, in beans, rice, the list goes on and on. Protein is really not an issue. And my response to my friend should have been, maybe I'll be just getting my protein from a different source. Where will you be getting your fiber? So more about fiber perhaps in a later video. Another one of my friends said, you'll just wither away. You'll end up like a skeleton. You'll be just skin and bones. You know, everybody knows that people on a plant-based diet, people on a vegan diet, they just get thinner and thinner and thinner, and eventually they just literally die because they're not getting any nutrition. Well, I'm now 8 years into my journey. I may be not be the biggest guy in the room, but I'm certainly not a skeleton. I feel strong, I feel vital, healthy, I've got a good appetite, I'm full of energy, I sleep well. So none of those things came to pass. And my response to my friend should have been, that's complete and utter nonsense. Did you know, for instance, that Novak Djokovic, the world's #1 tennis player, who's literally probably going to go down in history as the world's best ever tennis player, is vegan and has been for many, many, many years. So if he can be the #1 tennis player in the world on a vegan diet, I don't think I need to worry about withering away and becoming a skeleton when I'm not needing that kind of athletic prowess. So another one was that my friend said that you'd have no energy. Somehow, if I went on a plant-based diet, I'd just feel lethargic and I'd just be like, you know, oh God, you know, really low energy. I'd not be able to concentrate. Quite amazingly though, that didn't happen either. I actually found myself more energetic. Some of my previous health conditions cleared away. I felt better, I was sleeping better, I had more energy and I felt better and more calm and more peaceful in life. So my response to my friend should have been that, did you know that one of the most difficult things for the body to digest is meat? Meat can stay in our digestive system for days as the digestive system battles and, you know, tries hard to digest all this meat. And actually, plant-based foods are the most easily digestible of all foods, and they feed your gut. So when you're eating all this meat, your body's taking all this energy to digest it, so you actually have less energy. Whereas if you're on a plant-based diet, because you're expending less energy on digestion, you actually have more energy. So yeah, I wish I'd have thought of that. Unfortunately, I had no idea, and I just stood there and thought, no energy. Well, we'll see. Another one was, my friends said that everybody would think that I was weird or crazy or mad or something. You know, why would you want to go vegan at age 50? There's nothing wrong with you. Why are you doing that? Are you turning into a tree hugger, or have you discovered? Have you joined a cult or one of these strange things? And I think it's true, isn't it, that somehow we're so in our own culture, in the way that we brought up, that we think that if people switch to a vegan diet, we think, wow, that's so extreme. that it's almost weird, that the person doing it must be a little bit crazy or a little bit unstable or something. My response to my friend should have been, no, I'm not going crazy. Actually, I'm the sanest person in the room because I'm doing this for my health. I want to stay healthy and active for me, and for my grandchildren, and for my future into my old age. And I've found out that one of the best ways to do it is to go on a plant-based diet. So actually, it's you lot that are all crazy for not making a change to your life when the evidence is clear. And the last one, and perhaps the most cutting of all, was one of my friends said, oh my God, if you go vegan, you'll not be a man anymore. You'll not be able to perform. Somehow you'll be, I don't know, almost like a woman in a way. And it's true as well, isn't it? We do have this link between eating meat and being manly. And it's really quite bizarre, really. I don't know why we would think that somehow eating meat is manly. And I think maybe it's because we've got this idea that men used to kind of, you know, in Neanderthal times, go out from the cave with a spear and spear an animal and kill animals. And somehow that was a sense of being manly, which probably in those days you could accept. But there's not really anything manly about popping down to Sainsbury's supermarket and putting some pork in your shopping trolley. That's not manly at all. In fact, I would suggest that that's anything other than manly. It's quite cowardice, really, because we're letting somebody else do the dirty work over at the slaughterhouse, and we're just going down to this sanitized supermarket and popping it in our supermarket trolleys. And actually, more women go plant-based and vegan than men. So they're making a decision, they're showing self-confidence. The women are showing strength of character to say, no, I'm not going to be part of this violence anymore. I'm going to do something different. So, and on the performance side, I can assure you, everything is fine. So, my response to my friend should have been, actually, I'm more of a man than you'll ever be because I'm taking my destiny into my own hands, and I'm prepared to go against all of culture and the way that people think, to stride my own path, to go my own way, and that is a sign of true manliness. So I hope you found this video entertaining. I tried to make it light-hearted, but there's a serious message that when we go plant-based, or when we're making this decision, a lot of people might think that we're making some sort of extreme decision that's going to somehow harm us or make us less of a person or make us ill and all these things. And we just really have to stand above it, walk forward. I have to say though that all my friends still, we're still friends, we still get along great. They absolutely see that after 8 years I'm just fine, and actually some of them have been considering it themselves. So thanks for being with me for this 10 minutes, and I wish you a very good day. And if you're thinking of going plant-based, go ahead and do it. You can do it. Bye-bye.